Yeah, but Arsenal is just low standards. It doesn't really count. I'm talking about a big club, isn't it? Like,
Phase of the problem. Ollie's fine. It's just no, stop it, guys.
Yes, people, welcome back to the EFL show on the First XI. And we are 5 days away from Doncaster being relegated in 46 games' time. And Argyle and Bristol are celebrating promotion. Probably both winning their leagues. I mean, obviously, we all know that Doncaster will finish below Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham. And Sheffield United. But we for the next 46 games plus however many weeks, including cup games, we will be here to take you through all of it. Now, last season it was sort of an experimental season, wasn't it? We were sort of working about how we're going to do it. This season, Aaron's seen it. Charlie wasn't here in time to see it, but there's been a lot of work being put into this, so you will love it. I think there's going to be 2 shows. I think we agreed on that one there. We're going to do the Monday show as previews and then reviews, and then Thursday or Friday we're doing previews. Just got to sort it with Indiana, don't we?
Yeah,
I think that was the plan. But obviously there was no games that took place at the weekend, so we're just with the one show today. But we've got quite a bit of news for you. But firstly, how are we all doing?
Yeah, mate, all good, all good. Can't wait for the season to start. Buzzing, mate, buzzing.
Same. What about you, Aaron?
Not too bad. Finished pre-season on a high. Got a job interview on Thursday. Bit disappointed that our front line is somewhat derailed because of injuries, but we'll sort it. We'll sort it before the season starts. We'll still beat Afc Wimbledon.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. You could be MK Dons, and I'm sure we'll get straight into that in a second.
Mate, honestly.
Liam saying 6 p.m. You say it's 6:07. Yeah, we were late. Big up the panel, smash that like button. Absolutely.
Big up Rachel, man. Big
up Rachel for the graphics. The wicked.
Class.
100%. And Chris says, big up the panel, tuning in from the beautiful Stranraer in Scotland on my holiday. How are you all? I'm all good.
Big up, Chris.
And Liam saying, you conceded to the Harrogate. Shh. I love it. Liam is absolutely. Yeah, only just. But
champions can demolish, but champions can also grind out victories.
Yeah, you tell that. You tell that to Manchester City. But we might as well, before we get into all of our club news, we better talk about this. Because on the eve of your season starting, and not only that, obviously, they weren't probably expecting to get past Bournemouth, but, you could definitely sense the players were a bit different. It was definitely a different performance, that's for sure. I think they got buried 5-0, didn't they? I mean, absolute embarrassment. And to lose your manager on the eve of the start of the season, and the fact that you spent an entire transfer window working on his philosophy, for him to just up sticks and off to fucking Swansea. MK Dons are in a big amount of trouble now. I mean, what the hell do they do now? I mean, they've lost their manager, who they've spent an entire transfer window backing and bringing in the players he wants. For that manager and his coaching team, it's not just a manager. They have all gone. The entire lot of them have walked away and gone to Swansea. I mean, him, his assistant, I think 2 coaches have followed with him. The entire coaching. No. The entire coaching team has gone as well. But we obviously won't talk about Swansea because they're a league above us. But in terms of MK Dons, I mean, what do they do now? I mean, have they said who's in charge at the moment? I mean, I know the CEO did that sort of interview, didn't he? He looked pissed off, which you can totally understand.
I'm not surprised, mate. Like I've literally, I've seen all. Obviously, I mean, when you're a fan of a club, and the funny thing is, like MK Dons posted on their website, oh yeah, Russell Martin is staying. all this stuff, and then like a day or two later, he just leaves. And you know, he was linked, but all the fans, like, it's funny to watch because I was there's this MK fan. He's got a YouTube channel, or Max Salt, his name is.
Yeah,
and he was it was funny. Like, he was just saying like he's a snake. I mean, and he is true, but obviously it's just funny to watch from a opposition. But yeah, bad news for them. It's especially you know the way he plays football. You know, for me, it's a good appointment for Swansea, but for MK, it's not good because, like you said, they've spent all pre-season. They brought in some really good players, and now the philosophy of the club and his playing style is going to be really affected. I'm not sure who they're going to bring in as well.
Well, what I can say to update you on the situation is that the sporting director, Sweeney, is set to speak to the media on Tuesday morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll find out exactly what's happening. But what I can say from the MK Dons website is that they're scheduled to making the right decision in terms of who they appoint. Now, we don't know who that is. We've heard a lot about a few names. There was one name that was in for the Swansea job, but kind of backed out, which was the former Chelsea coach, Jody Morris, who was in the bookies for our job as well. So, I had a lot of Donny fans speaking about Jody Morris. And, I think there was two Chelsea coaches that were in for our job before Wellens, Jody Morris and someone else. One was more set-piece specialist and one was more defensively well done in terms of being a defensive coach. One was a set-piece specialist. So I think that Jody Morris it would be a very risky one. It'd be a very risky shout. But, we'll see what happens with that. But as far as confirmed information, what we know is the sporting director will speak to media tomorrow morning.
There was a lot of talk about them possibly giving Ray Lewington the interim job. Obviously, he's a very senior pro at MK Dons. Obviously, has been there with Russell, obviously, as a player, but I can't. I think he's probably late 30s now. Is there a chance? Obviously, Argyle did it totally different circumstances with Carl Fletcher, and it got us through what we needed to do. But could you see them possibly? Would it be a smart move to give Ray Lewington, who's never done it before, the opportunity just to have the interim job until you can then, because the last thing you want to do is rush this appointment. You don't want to bring in the wrong person. So I suppose giving it to Ray, maybe right off the first month, and that gives you that time to really think and really process what you want to do.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I'd like to see Lewington maybe get it as an interim. But what I can say to sort of update you on the situation is they have already according to Fanband, who's a good news source for information, apparently they have already spoken to Jody Morris or made some kind of contact with Jody Morris. So there's a potential there with him. Then the article actually lists 5 other managers that it could be. And this is using Sky Bet odds as well. So the top 6 currently, from 1 to 6, so most likely to least likely out of the 6. Jody Morris is first at 2-1. Then at 4-1 is John Terry. Michael Duff is then at 5-1. Then
John Terry's 4-1.
And then Alex Ravel at 8-1. Then Dean Lewington, the player, the legendary player.
Oh, that's the one, Dean.
Dean Lewington. He's made over 700 and something.
And then finally at 10-1 in 6th place is Alex Neil. So I think out of those 6, Lewington would be the continuation appointment. But again, look at us. He'd a bit of a risk making a continuous appointment.
He'd be the one that I would give it as interim. I would give him maybe interim. Depends on what MK Dons see. It depends on what MK Dons see themselves doing this year. If they see themselves,
yeah, they definitely want to be up there, don't they?
Well, I mean,
because the players they find plus saying that even Russell Martin himself when he first come in. He was a bit of a risk as well because he come in first as a player. He was there playing, and then he turned into like a player coach role, and then he took the manager's job and done well. So it could work with Lewington, but if I was an MK fan, I'd want a proper manager because they obviously looking at the transfers, they wanna finish high this season and have a good season. But like you said, it's a proper. nail in the coffin when he leaves, with less than a week to go to the season start.
Yeah, I mean, who do MK Dons have in their first game? I know we're not. So obviously we've picked the 5. So briefly, we've picked 5 from League One, 5 from League Two. I don't think MK are one we've actually decided on the wrong day not to cover MK Dons, to be brutally
They
honest
open
with
up
you.
the season away at promoted Bolton.
That's a toughie now.
You know what? I want to add to that situation, to be fair. I think in terms of what I think, like Charlie said, it depends what you now said now. It depends what MK Dons will do. If you look at the people they brought in, Scott Twine, Ravizoli, Martin, Robson, Watters, Baldwin, Isa, Watson, and Parrott from Spurs on loan, they brought in some decent talent, and they've got rid of some players that not really are first-team players. There's only a couple, like Cameron Jerome, etc. But they've got a decent squad that could challenge for a top 10 place. And I think, obviously we don't want to touch on Swansea too much because they're Championship, but let's think about this for a second. Russell Martin, I'm happy that he's got the move to the Championship, but he's joining a club that's under a lot of stress in the transfer market and might be under a lot of stress. So I think it's a difficult situation. But
they're not going to get relegated though. I mean, it would be stupid. It would be absolutely stupid to say he shouldn't turn down this move or what.
No, I'm not saying that.
Of course, Swansea are going through difficulties. They always were going to. I mean, they lost their manager before pre-season. Obviously, the transfer market, the transfer market obviously hasn't been, the best for them. But they've still got a squad that, should mid-table minimum, maybe bottom half, nowhere near relegation in my eyes. So I think he is joining a club that is in a higher league. And I mean, it's sort of what Chris said here. Can you blame Russell for leaving League One club for a Championship club? No, I don't. As was always going to be a tempting offer. It was always going to be a tempting offer. John Terry was favourites for a Swansea job. Big up to you. He can't believe about Russell Martin. Always brought great players in just to leave. Bit of a dicker now. Move for him. Literally, MK
Dons fans are pissed as well. But the thing is, as well, the other thing that a lot of Swansea fans are getting angry about is the fact that a lot of people don't know this, but their parachute payments have ended. That's why you've seen the likes of AU move on. That's why it's sort of been tough for them because it's been hard.
And not to be disrespectful to Swansea, but their badge looks like a League One badge. I'm not going to lie to you. But
I mean, we're not going to get into the position of talking about
reviewing badges.
We're not ranking the badge for what league they should be in.
What I'll say in closing about this is, for MK Dons now, like you said, what do they need to do? I don't see them going for the interim for the first couple of months. I see them in these next few days making the appointment.
You said couple of months. I said a month. Gives you enough time. The thing is, you can't lose the title in a month. You can't even lose promotion in a month. But what you can do
if they brought in Morris. I think Morris is a good move.
He's the choice I think they'll go for.
What you can do though, if you do make the wrong appointment and you don't think this through, is fuck up your entire season and have a potentially hefty payoff for a manager you got to get rid of. So, whilst you can't lose the title or promotion or playoffs in the first month, what is the problem with just saying, look, August is going to be a bit now, okay, it's going to be a bit fucked anyway. But let's be brutally honest with it. August is pretty fucked for him now because even if a new manager comes in, he's got to take time to gel the team anyway. He's got to work on his sort of philosophy, what he wants to do, which may be different to Russell Martin.
I think the timing's a bit different.
Of course. And that's the thing.
A bit.
what I would do is I'd give it to Dean Lewington on a 1 month interim and say, look, just take the team, do what you can with them, whilst we sit back and have a little think about what to do next.
Yeah.
Why are you saying oh shit, Aaron?
Because one of the people we had on trial has just signed for Fleetwood on a 2-year deal. Darnell Johnson. No, what I will say about this is if Jody Morris is the man appointed, I think with MK Dons in particular, before this, I saw MK Dons finish in the top 10. Depending how much Jody Morris gels with the squad in quick succession, it's going to be hard. And to be fair with MK Dons, they need to make the appointment.
Aaron, are you about to say something really stupid?
No. MK Dons, in terms of who they need to appoint someone who plays a similar system to Russell Martin. So there is not. So it makes a lot of sense because you don't want someone with a completely different system that maybe some of the signings don't work in.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But for Swansea, maybe for Swansea, in terms of a Swansea point of view, quickly, this is an underrated appointment because he could do stuff that maybe other managers couldn't do with Swansea. Maybe John Terry couldn't do anything that Russell Martin could do with that squad. Who knows?
No, I just think that they're looking for a rebuild. They're looking for a different direction and potentially looking at a different way. Because I think with Swansea, their previous manager was quite defensive. He was quite a defensive manager. It worked for him. He worked very well for him. He got the results. But, you know, it is difficult.
He's done very well, though. Like, that Cooper was underrated because, like, Swansea for a few years now, they haven't, like, you see like players leave them for big money, but they even that Cooper, that he wasn't even backed really. He done it on a pretty small budget. You see a lot of their players, they didn't spend, you know, they work a lot on the academy players, you know, half of their team is from the academy. But you know, it should be interesting to see how Martin does, but he does need to be back because their squad is very weak. Very weak.
And I think that if you look at Swansea's squad quickly, you look at how Russell Martin operates and how he's sort of brought through some of the youngsters from the MK Dons Academy as well. I think this is a great appointment for Swansea because not only is it a young manager, not only is it a rebuild, and again, like you said, the squad's very thin. They have to bring some of the academy through to sort of, you know, build up those prospects and not having to spend loads of money on new transfers. So I think it is a rebuild process. And I think that the traits that Russell Martin had behind MK Dons, like working with the youth, bringing through the experience, having that kind of system, I think if you get Swansea playing in that kind of system and get Swansea playing a certain rhythm, I think in 2-3 years you could see the best out of him. And to be fair, the good thing about Russell Martin is he's a young manager. So they'll hopefully, the Swansea board will give Russell time.
I will say one thing. The Championship is a completely different kettle of fish to League One.
Oh, it's a completely different ball.
We think there's big teams in League One. Jesus Christ, the Championship's
got former Premier League teams. They've got teams from Europe. They've got
it's an absolute disgrace of league. It's the hardest league to deal with.
I would fear if we got promoted in the next few years to Championship.
You'd be coming straight back down.
If we have the squad we have now,
but hey, Aaron, we don't need to worry about that because you won't be going up anytime soon. Yuri says they've got a great team now. To be fair, so hopefully a team can carry on without a real manager. Kenny doesn't feel bad for MK Dons
trick
for what they did to Wimbledon. But
it's true. A lot of people don't like MK Dons. A lot of people don't like him. I don't really like him.
I did see someone retweet the news about Russell Martin and say MK Dons shouldn't be sad because you did steal a football club.
Exactly. It's facts.
Yeah, I will report on them. We report on MK Dons, but certainly not one of my favourite teams. Far from it. Frankly, couldn't give less of a shit. It's just like I don't like Exeter City. It's not the fans' fault, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Sad shit. Kenny says, I'm still angry about Swansea for yesterday now. Well, they're not getting playoffs anyway, so I don't know why you're upset. Swansea fans have split on Steve Cooper. Well, he did a great job. Martin plays entertaining football, but that's in League One Championship, completely different. Yeah. Very much different. But moving on, because we could talk about MK Dons and Russell Martin for hours. Yeah, let's talk about Doncaster. Let's do Doncaster. So, Aaron, you're our apparently Donny guy. So, what's happening in that shithole?
Undercover Sheffield Wednesday. But no, it's been all right. There's been mixed news out of the last week. You know, we obviously Sheffield United. We won't go over too much. We won't go over that.
Yeah, what was the score, Aaron? Just to tell everyone. 4-0.
They lost, and I just want to confirm they lost 4-0. They didn't win 4-0. They lost.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it that side. The 4's on the away side on my end, and the 0 is on the home end on my end.
Bit embarrassing.
The first goal, Lewis Jones. I feel so sorry for the guy. I know the guy personally off the pitch as well. Yeah. I feel so sorry for Lewis. He's young. He's inexperienced. He's going to be our long-term goalkeeper for the next 10, 15 years. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to learn. No.
10, 15 years.
Mate. He's 20. He's 22. He's homegrown talent. He's going to be on number 1 for the next decade or so.
How many times? Right.
Not many players stay for that long nowadays.
How many players have stayed for more than a decade at not Bristol, Doncaster Rovers?
Name me. In the modern era, Coppinger's one of the only ones. Only a select few.
Right. And how many homegrown talents have you brought through?
We've brought. Well, I think we were famous.
Don't name them all. Just go for an average number.
Quite a lot.
No, I'm not naming them all. I'm just saying we were famous for rejecting a young Kevin Geoghegan, but I think we brought a few through.
So, and how many of them have stayed for longer than a decade?
I'd say
one.
No, I'd say 4 out of those 5, maybe.
4? Name them.
Yeah, who's that then? Come on.
Well, I think it might be more than 4 or 5 because you've got Greaves, you've got Asani, you've got Jones, you've got Horton, you've got Max
Waffle for a decade.
He's Cardiff now. I'd say.
What?
To be honest, I'd say 1 in 3.
But they haven't been there for a decade, though. He's asking you how many
of them players stayed there for 10 years or more.
Oh.
Not including the academy. Not including the academy.
Yeah, not a lot because this is like the first year or 2 they've been in the first team, so not a lot to be honest.
So let's not jump on
one player.
Let's not jump on the bandwagon that everyone's staying for a decade because they don't even stay for a decade at Argyle. I mean, Curtis Nelson didn't even come for our youth academy. He spent 4 or 5 years with us. I mean, very rare you'll see him stay for a decade. I mean, hopefully Cooper will. I love Cooper. Same with Jepcott, but let's not assume they're going to stay for a year, but a year, 10 years. Carry on. Doncaster.
Yeah. The other goals from Sheffield United were all right. A little bit of defensive errors here and there, but overall, it was just Sheffield were just far superior in that game. Then we faced Harrogate. We won 3-2. Very mixed game, very 50-50. Harrogate had the chances. We had the chance. It was a very stop-and-start match, I'll be honest. It was a very stop-and-start. The Carl Noyle goal was stupendous. It was like, I don't think he was meaning to score, but it's like he volleyed it a few foot in the air. It's like he jumped up, did like a spider kick, and it was like a front kick where I think he was meaning to cross it at the back post, but it sort of curled into the back post. So, bit of a wild goal, but I'll say from experience, Carl Noyle, watch out for this guy because he could be class this season. Dan Gardner on trial from us, of course, released by Wigan, scored a screamer from 25 yards as well. I think Chakur had an all right game, nothing too much, just little spells here and there. Bogle was being pushed out to the wing because we had no one else. Aidan Barlow is not afraid to run at defenders. I'll say that for certain. He's not afraid to run at defenders. He will charge at them with brute force, even though he's a little guy. Jones had some errors. Wellings telling him that he's pissing him off now at 35 minutes in, so you can sort of see where Wellings is, very angry, ruthless style. If you hear his press conferences as well after matches, he's brutal, he's honest, he's not sugarcoating anything like Darren Moore used to do. So I'm glad we've got a no-nonsense manager. In terms of other news,
he's gonna lose the dressing room pretty fucking quickly then. I mean,
just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Richie Wellings does that thing to your keeper, the one that made the mistake, is the same as what Di Canio did to what's his name, that keeper when he was angry and he took him off after like 20 minutes.
The thing is, with management nowadays, you can't be like that in the press conference. Players don't like it. Unfortunately, this thing called player power is real. Now, Ryan Lowe, it's a ruthless little shit. He's from the north, for goodness sake. So this man takes no shit. I mean,
same as Barton about Ema last season. He's shit. He hasn't changed for 10 years.
Ryan Lowe literally said in a fans forum, his policy is don't employ dickheads. So he has a pretty fiery decorum. But in a press conference, he won't give too much away because you don't want a manager doing that. Now, in the dressing room, he may be smacking 10 bells of shit out of them. I don't know. But that's behind closed doors. That's fine because that sort of style is behind closed doors. Players know what they're getting. By doing that in the media, very rarely does that ever go well. Very rarely does that ever go. I don't even remember Fergie. Well, Fergie probably did do it, but it was Fergie, and Fergie could get away
it was
with
all right
shit.
back then.
Fergie could just do whatever Fergie wanted. If a player didn't like it, well, that player went out, and the system didn't really change. The club kept moving.
Yeah,
forward.
same as Neil Warnock back in the day. Like, you don't really see that anymore.
I was just about to say, even Neil's adapted his sort of tone and manner in press conferences. So I will say his whole ruthlessness thing, it could genuinely come back to bite him on the ass. If he starts pissing the players off and they go, do you know what? Fuck this. You're doing my head in. Yeah, let's just not try on Saturday. Heads could go down. He would have a difficult job bringing them back up. Also, big up to Charles in the chat as well.
Yeah, big up Charles.
Any other news, Aaron?
But no, what I will say to sort of back that up is that in press conferences, he's not angry. He's just like, if something needs to be said, he won't sugarcoat it with, a lie or twist it a little bit. He'll just come out and say what it is. And in terms of other news, transfer news, we've got a goalkeeper that's set to be coming in the next 48 hours. Set to be, now we don't know if that's true or not, but it could be the goalkeeper that came on for the last half an hour against Harrogate, which was the QPR goalkeeper Dylan Barnes. Well, there's an article from the 72 Wheel of the Football League that says we're going to be taking a look at another player that we had on trial against Harrogate, which is the veteran centre midfielder Jacob Butterfield. Now, this was an interesting one that came up. Obviously, he used to play for Derby, for Luton, played for Melbourne Victory last season in Australia. You guys know Jacob Butterfield. He's a legend of the EFL at the moment.
He got relegated with Bradford to League Two.
Yeah, so and then he played with Derby for a few years, played with Luton, played in Australia recently. So he's had some positives. It's not all negative.
He's decent. He's played at some good clubs, like.
Yeah, and to be fair, like if we can't sign Lewis Reed from Peterborough, that was on trial for us for a few weeks, but we can sign Butterfield, I don't mind because Reed brings youthfulness, and in my opinion, he's a better signing. But Butterfield brings the veteranism. So I think another leader in the dressing room could be key, which means we have to sacrifice Reed. So I wouldn't mind either one, but it looks like it'll probably be Dylan Barnes, and if we can afford it, Lewis Reed as well. But overall, I'd say it's been a mixed week, but we look ahead now. We've got a behind closed doors thing against Watford on Wednesday. I'm not going to do a preview or review for that on my channel because there's no point. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how any of the trialists do in that friendly if they play, and we'll see what happens. But I think overall, mixed week, and we'll look ahead to AFC Wimbledon on Saturday and open up our season. But like I said, I've said on the previews, on the preseason stuff for many weeks now. I think that a rebuild doesn't happen in one day. A rebuild doesn't happen in one season. It's going to take 2 or 3. I won't be surprised if we don't get promoted. I wouldn't, because it is a rebuild at the end of the day. If we can finish higher than
you can't stop bringing excuses in now. You was positive that you were getting promoted.
But you did also say that Wellinsball was absolutely magical and all that crap. Who were you playing against that day?
Which one?
The day you went Wellinsball was brilliant. I think it may have been your first pre-season friendly.
It was Rosington, and then it was Newcastle.
Yeah, that's it. Rosington, Maine,
and Newcastle.
Yeah. It was certainly one Newcastle. You said it after. You definitely said it after Rosington, Maine. I do remember that vividly.
Yeah, but let me explain. Right,
went downhill after that.
Yeah, like if we can finish above 14th. Then that is, in my opinion...
You said top half. Hang
on. If we finish above 14th, that, in my opinion, is progress. If this season, for the first year of a rebuild, we play excellent football, but we finish above 14th, that is progress, in my opinion. Then you use the January window, you use the second summer window, you bring in more players, you keep getting rid of the dead wood, and you keep building it year upon year. Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and rebuild wasn't done in a season. It's going to take 2 or 3 years. I believe in the process. Let's see what happens this season.
Firstly,
He literally sounds like an Arsenal fan.
I was just literally about to say that.
Sounds like an Arsenal fan.
We might as well replace the Doncaster badge with an Arsenal badge at this rate.
I trust in what we're doing.
You might as well just go with trust the process. It seems to be a catchy phrase nowadays. Where did you finish?
But I've spoken to Wellens, and
I also spoke to my wheelie bin, and he said the same thing. Where did you finish last season?
14th. So anything.
Yeah. So if you finish 14th or above, it's progress. Well, if you finish 14th, it's actually not progress. It's actually.
If we finish 14th, but play better football and just get unlucky on a few times with the results.
Well, now you're starting to sound like Spurs. Jesus Christ! Is there any other club you want? Is it right? So first of all, trust the process. Second of all, if we play nice football where you don't progress, that's fine. I mean, fuck it, you might as well literally go get a really decent striker, fill the rest of your team with manure, and just work with that really. Because I mean, to be frankly honest, wow,
you might as well go and get Ty. You might as well go and get Ty from AFTV.
The reason why the reason why I'm saying this is because there's Donny fans on social media that think if it doesn't happen this season, get rid of him. And I'm just thinking to myself, rebuilds weren't done in one season. Don't expect, and this is the thing with football, don't expect instant success. It's going to take a couple of seasons.
I sort of hope you keep Wellens because he seems shit. But it's going
to take a couple of seasons. We can't expect success on the first season.
Yeah, that's what Spurs said with Jose.
Yeah, but why did you change your mind, though? Why did you change your mind? You was all positive 2 weeks ago saying you was getting promoted. And now you're saying, it's going to take 2 or 3 seasons. Come on.
Well, the Donny board said, if Wellens isn't the man in a few years' time, we get rid of him, we'll still keep the process. But we'll just change the
To be fair, you did have Doncaster playoffs, which was quite amusing.
I had them 6th or 7th, because I do believe in my club that we can scrape in there.
So a couple of weeks ago, you went from 6th to 7th. Now you've gone down to 14th. In a couple of weeks,
I'm sticking with my prediction that 6th or 7th. But I'm in the back of my mind, in terms of realistic expectations, we're probably expecting higher than 14th.
Okay, so realistically, in a couple of weeks' time, do you reckon it will go down to 18th, 19th, and then
it's really funny when they lose the opening game like 2-0.
It's like it's a downward trajectory. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like that. It's almost like a death drop. It's like it's slowly coming down. I mean, if we bring you down a few more. To be
brutally honest, realistically, I'm thinking in my head we're probably going to finish higher than 14th, but not go up. But I want to be optimistic and say we'll scrape in the playoffs and try our best because I do believe in the football that we're playing. Because if you think about it, the football we're playing is like the Sean O'Driscoll style football we were playing a decade ago when we were mid-table in the Championship, fighting for the Premier League playoff places.
Football's changed since then.
I know, that's what I mean. We're playing a modern version of the O'Driscoll tactics, so it's going to take time to adapt back.
Kenny have a great comment here. Don't expect success in the first season. I expect us to finish 6th and win the playoffs. I don't think he's.
That's my optimistic.
Hold on, did you say win the playoffs? Jesus, that is right. Moving on.
Because I believe in my club.
We've done the Aaron roasting bit for a bit. Now on to the real club. So Yuri says up the Donny. So the real club has done fuck all this week because we were done ages ago. We love to see it. We had hold on. So last Monday we've played Middlesbrough since then. I think. What had we played Bristol? No, Bristol City. Played Bristol City, lost 2-1. Not too bothered about that. I mean, 3 championship sides. We lost 1-0 to Bristol City. We didn't score. But with all of that, we played Middlesbrough. It was Bristol City we had played. Bristol City, good game, 1-0 loss. 3 championship clubs, only 1 goal between them in terms of the losses. I'm absolutely sound with that. And we played some challenging sides. Quite enjoyed it. And then we won to Torquay. We won 3-0 at Plainmoor. A really good performance. Adam Randall got a bit of a run out as well. Looking really good. He's really good with the ball, really calm. Doesn't seem sort of dazed if a player comes near him. A proper good sort of ball playing midfielder who can also defend like crazy, and he's can almost play in any sort of midfielder role that you want, which I suppose is very rare nowadays. I mean, just go ask Manchester United; they still haven't got one that does that. I mean, you've got Bruno who scores, Pogba who can do God knows what, and then you've still not got a defensive midfielder. So, all fun and games. But that's that, really. No new signings. All of that was done ages ago. As I said, we've kept the core of our squad in terms of attack and in midfield. Yeah.
Jeez, I thought I'd expect at least one more loan signing or something.
Oh, actually, we had one more loanee. We had a loanee come in from Peterborough. Cannot remember his name.
Yeah,
Ryan Broom.
Didn't you? Yeah, ex Rovers player.
Yeah.
And it was funny. It was funny as well. Has any of you seen Gary Neville's angry comments to their chairman? Because apparently Salford wanted him, but because he went to Plymouth, like I seen someone post these comments. Neville was going mad at their chairman, Darren McAntony. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. But
does Neville realise that Ryan Lowe and the chairman of Peterborough have a really good relationship? It's how we got.
Exactly.
So we had Georgie Cooper this was when we were in League Two. We had Cooper come down on loan, and then we went and signed him in the summer. Well, after that summer, first season in League One. We've got a ridiculously good relationship with Posh. Really good relationship. But the chairmans have a good relationship. Lowe has a good relationship. So I'm not going to lie to him. If there was any club who could do that deal, it was always going to be Argyle above anyone else. Not just because they're Salford. Well, especially that. But
plus Ryan Broom. Like like when he was at Rovers for years, come for the youth system. That I know the people that like he used to stay with because he's Welsh. Yeah. He used to stay with them, and he's not like that. Like because obviously Salford players go there for the money. Like they don't go there because they're a big club or they go there for the money realistically. And he ain't like that. Plus he's never really been too far from the southwest. He's been at Cheltenham, Rovers, Peterborough is not that far away. But hopefully he does well. Best of luck.
Yeah. I think Neville's just upset because Salford aren't buying the league anymore.
Yeah, well, you could never be as big as Argyle, and you'll learn that one day. But yeah, obviously he came in. I completely forgot about him.
Don't worry now. We could be getting our own DRTV as well as you getting Argyle TV. So we're catching up with this.
Yeah, we'll come back to me when you have 4 camera.
I'll start creating the logos for it and shared it on Twitter. Don't know if you've seen, but I shared my first draft of the logo on Twitter.
Yeah, no, not really. But have you got the 4 cameras in the 4 stands?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be looking into that because apparently, according to the people in marketing and media, according to the statement this past week, all systems go. We just need to push it that little bit more.
This was Argyle news. You could mention that in Doncaster news. And second of all, we all know that it'll be filmed. We all know that it'll be filmed on an iPhone 10 and streamed on Facebook. But yeah, back to Argyle news because Aaron Addy is time to shine. We've done really nothing. I mean, we've kept the course. So apart from a fresh defence, obviously, which was fucking needed. Maybe a loanee striker, but I doubt it.
I tried to check if there was any more transfer rumours, but there's none at the moment.
Yeah, not really. We're done pretty much. I mean, if we do get one, it'll probably be closer to the end of the window, and it'll probably be a striker if anything. But we've got everything we need. Obviously, we signed Broom on loan as well, so maybe Gary wanted a permanent signing. Maybe Posh only wanted a loan. Who knows? Maybe that's why they decided Argyle was a more suitable option. Because we were offering a loan where Salford probably wanted to buy him. So really,
plus you're a league above as well.
And that, so what's best for the player playing in League One with Ryan Lowe, who plays good football and is with an Argyle team that is progressing, or is Salford in League Two probably bottling the playoffs? Fuck knows. Yeah, Kenny, you're always talking about the fucking playoffs, so I'm just going to ignore your comment as you do chat some shit. But that's something on Argyle. We're ready for the start of the season. Adam Mandel doing quite well, and our playoffs our pre-season is capished. So, on to Bristol Rovers. Anything happening with you lot?
I mean, to be fair, not too much. We've had 2 pre-season games. The third, well, I missed it last. It was on the Tuesday. We played against Havant and Waterlooville. Wasn't the best. Like I didn't go, but we drew 0-0. It wouldn't. I mean, obviously that was pretty worrying. But to be fair, a lot of our first teamers aren't back yet. Still a lot of injuries and COVID as well. Like Sam Finley, who's a quality midfielder, he hasn't even played a game yet because he's been out with COVID. He hasn't even played a pre-season game, which is quite worrying. So, I mean, but yeah, 0-0 that game. Although, I mean, Havant and Waterlooville, the rest should have done something because they just kept taking our players out. They were trying to injure more of our players, and we've already got a load of injuries. But and then on the Friday just gone, brought in Brett Pittman. Really happy with about that. A year with the option of another one. Obviously, getting on. He's 33 now, but we needed that experience last season, let alone this season. But with 178 career goals already.
I mean, who was that? Who was that striker? Was it Owen Doyle?
Yeah, Owen Doyle.
He was like 33 with Swindon and got like 33 odd goals. So age. Yeah, I think
he's
so.
Still at Bolton,
age really doesn't really matter in League Two as long as you're good enough. I mean,
as long as he's an absolute shithouse and a brute in football, it should be fine.
Well, he scored a 40-yard scream on his first game, so I'm guessing shithouse is his middle name.
He scored a screamer and he's built like a fucking brick, so he should be fine.
But yeah, I'm pretty buzzing with that. I mean, it was funny though. Obviously, it was only his first game. Obviously done really well. He come off. I think he was only on. He come off. He only trained once on the Friday when he joined, and then he come off the bench with half an hour to go. Scored a header, good instincts, and then, like you said, he scored that 40-yard lob, which was madness. Really, I couldn't believe my eyes. But he is capable of that. I've seen highlights of his goals. He does pull out the worldie from time to time. But yeah, like a good win against Oxford. We're losing. It was pretty much their first team as well, apart from Matty Taylor, who got shitloads of abuse when he come off the bench because he used to play for us and he snaked us and went to City and said, "Oh yeah, I didn't really know the rivalry between Bristol City and Rovers. Yeah, whatever, piss off." But yeah, good comeback win. Good way to end pre-season. And yeah, pretty buzzing now for Mansfield. But like I said, it's still. I think we'll have a slow start because like Nicholson, Finley, Taylor, Harry's, Baldwin, and even Paul Coots, who only made his first game, he also had COVID. I think we'll have a slow start, but as the season goes on, hopefully we get better.
As someone who's been through this before, you will have a slow start. You'll probably be slow until November. But in League Two, it doesn't really matter because if you do hit your stride in December, January, and all the way through, you'll still go up. It's quite easy. League Two, and don't forget that was when we had the likes of fucking Swindon, we had Crewe, so we even had tougher teams. I'm not saying that the hardest was back when Pompey were in there, we were in there, you were in there. It was a really tough league then.
Yeah,
it is no more. Chris says. No, Salford don't bottle League Two playoffs, they bottle League Two completely. Brett Pittman confirms League Two automatic promotion for Bristol Rovers. Quality signing.
Confirms the title.
Max says, "Yo lads, big up to you all. Good luck, Bristol Bristol Rovers in League Two, and good luck, Carlisle, as you deserve." No worries, mate. I understand the issues because when people call me Plymouth, it's triggering at best. As you deserve to do well this year. Also, Aaron, let's hope you do better than last year or you're fucked. I like how he's really polite to me and Charlie, and then he's like, Aaron, let's hope you do better than last year or you're fucked. Absolutely brilliant.
It's because I need the most putting down, that's why.
Suppose Bolton had slow starting League Two. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not difficult to do it.
The weird thing about Brett Pitman is he reminds me of Boris Johnson thwacking that kid. I think he's just going to run through loads of inexperienced defenders in League Two now. He's just going to be up against this 19-year-old loanee from the Premier League, and he's like looking at him like, right, I'm going to give you a lesson in what League Two is all about, and thwacks him with Boris Johnson.
Let's hope Brett Pitman hasn't heard you call him Boris Johnson, or he might be grossly offended. But as I said, we're doing things differently this year or this season. So what we've done is we've picked out 5 games. Now, we did do it joint. Me and Aaron actually agreed with 4 of the games we wanted to cover. So, jobs are good. And Charlie, obviously, be the only one from League Two, has had his pick of the 5 from League Two. We're definitely always going to be covering our team. So you'll always get Argyle, Bristol Rovers and Doncaster coverage here. We'll probably also going to look at Exeter City because they're quite a big team in League Two, and it's quite nice to sort of just laugh at them a lot.
You're most likely going to see Sheffield Wednesday a few times because they are scumbags.
Yeah, you'll probably see Bradford a lot. We obviously will try and switch it around so we're quite even with the coverage. You will get at least coverage of all of them at least 23 times because they've got to play us. So not 23, 2 times. You'll see them 2 times because they've got to play us. So what we've done is we've picked the 5 games. So this week we've picked the 5 games. I can't remember what order they're in, so it will be a shock to me as it is to you guys. But we've started at the New York Stadium with Argyle versus Rotherham. Now,
of course, it's
as an Argyle, I'm not.
What a stadium as well.
What a surprise!
As I said, the way we've done this is we've really put a lot of effort in this, as you can see. It does look a beautiful stadium.
Comment down below, guys, how much you rate these graphics. Comment down below.
Yes, do let us know. And if there's anything you want to see us do, then put that in the comments as well. But in terms of Rotherham, Argyle couldn't have asked for a harder start to the season if they had tried, because you have pit us against one of the teams favoured to go back up. So really a tough game back. But, we shouldn't be afraid of any team in the league. We should always respect, as Ryan always does say. So Rotherham, what do we know about Rotherham? Well, we know that they got relegated from a championship last season. So we know they're going to be very, 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 very tough opposition. What do we know about Argyle? Well, we know that we've got a brand new defence. So, fingers crossed that works better. So, 2 differences. Rotherham definitely odds on to get promotion, possibly even automatics. I think we had them in automatics. So it's going to be a tough game. But Argyle, as I said, we're a new look defence, and they seem to be gelling quite well. Now, we've also gone and got a very experienced Wilson, who's going to be at the centre of our defence for quite a lot of the season. Just genuinely, he's going to be in the middle, real experience, 32 years old, came from Ipswich. Fans didn't want him to leave. He has got a bit of an injury problem potentially, but hopefully at Argyle we can sort of get through this. And Ryan is really good with the players and sort of fitness. We've got a really good fitness coach as well, so that's all really positive. Rotherham, I don't think they've lost many players, have they? They've kept the bulk of the squad that went down, so it's going to be really difficult for us. But I suppose one of the positives is it can only get easier from here. I mean, we're facing one of the teams odds on to get promotion. Now we're looking to have a much better season than we did last season. But yeah, it can only get easier from here. Jake says James Wilson quality signing. Charlie, please can I have some of what you're on some. It is a quality signing.
He was player of the season at Ipswich. He's been a very good centre back. I mean, he might not have been. Yeah, he might not have been that good at Lincoln, because Lincoln aren't exactly a good club, are they, Jake? But Jake's pretty salty because I put Lincoln quite far down because they've lost a lot of their quality loan players from last season. But James Wilson is good. He's a quality centre back.
Yeah. Also, mid-table. I mean, Rotherham are odds on to get promotion, and we potentially could be mid-table, but it's a vast amount of an improvement from last year. Max saying 10 out of 10. Chris also saying the same. I think Rotherham 3, Argyle 1. I don't think he'll be that much of a battering, but we'll know. We'll see. He was absolute dog for us in League 2. Bloke was horrendous.
Well, because it's Lincoln, isn't it?
Maybe you just had a shit team near him. Rotherham have got Carlisle forward Josh Hirode, who was on loan at us last 2 seasons. He could do a bit of business. Yeah, so Max saying 2-2. Wow. That if we were to concede a last-minute equaliser, that would piss me off, because that would be very much similar to last season. That genuinely would do my head in.
The return of unhappy Niall.
Oh, I'd be fucking raging. But we'll go to the guy who's not got any sort of odds on this first, and then we'll wrap up with that guy at the bottom. Charlie, Rotherham Argyle. As I say, as an Argyle perspective, couldn't have asked for a harder start if you tried. But I suppose, as I did say, it does only get easier from here on in. What's your thoughts of this game? Tough game for us, though.
Yeah, tough game. Obviously, very good side, very physical side. They're probably one of the most physical in the league. Good manager, pretty, unlucky to... Because I've seen a lot of their games last season. They didn't get battered much in the Championship. They're a decent side. Like you said, they're going to be up there. I reckon it'd be close. Obviously, Rotherham, there really hasn't been much business from Rotherham. They've lost probably their best player from last season in Matt Crooks, who was a midfielder, got over double figures in goals, but they brought in Ferguson. I'm going to go with 2-2 as well. I think Plymouth have got goals in them. I know they've strengthened at the back, but I think all the first games in of the season are always usually pretty filled with goals or pretty interesting. So yeah, 2-2. I think it'd be a good way to start a point against promotion hopefuls.
Yeah, I'd say 2-2 as well. To be fair, I mean, whilst our back line is good, yeah, I mean we have got goals though. As I said, we've kept the attack pretty much it's exactly the same from last season, and we had goals last season. Yeah. Just couldn't keep them out for whatever reason. Ryan Lowe didn't want to blame names. I will happily blame them. Jerome Apoku, Keelan Watts, Williamson, do fuck off. And you did. So thank you. Rachel says PAFC to tilt now and lose 4-0. I doubt that. Tough start, but to play them at the same point, yes, you would rather... That it makes a really key point there. You'd rather play them early whilst they haven't got a head of steam on them. Whilst they're fresh, you want to get the game sort of. It's good that it's our first game because we could nick something. Also, we could definitely nick a win if we were to play them January or February. They've got a head of steam. They'd steamroll us probably. So, really good start, I think, and I do hear that. Liam says, "Rachel, no thanks. I can't handle that." She responds, "I'm only here for meltdowns when panelist teams lose." Sorry, Liam. I enjoy meltdowns too much. Yeah, love it.
For at least half of our season, then.
I'm going to this game. Looking forward to it. Yes, Liam is going to it as well. But Aaron, as another League One fan, Rotherham Argyle, tough start, but should be a good game.
I would say that. I mean, Rotherham have kept the core of their squad. They brought in Shane Ferguson from the Championship. As we speak, Peter Rourke tweeted today that they're now scheduled to complete the signing of Oliver Rathbone from Rochdale for an undisclosed fee after they've sort of passed that deal through. So that's and to be fair, Rathbone's probably the best out of a relegated side. So I think that's a really
good signing. I think that's a really good signing.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that Rathbone's replacing Matt Crooks, who was the main player that left for Middlesbrough. So I think that apart from Crooks and Ola Sunday, obviously you got Clark that's gone to Bristol Rovers, and they've released the likes of Billy Jones and Sean McDonald and Robertson and stuff like that. So they've kept the core of their squad and just left a couple and brought in a couple. Like you said, for Plymouth, they brought in a new defence. They've brought in a new attacker. They've got rid of some of the deadwood. It's going to be a very 50-50 match. And I'm not just saying this because you're here. I'm actually going to upset the apple cart and go for a 2-1 Plymouth win. I think that Plymouth could actually do the job over Rotherham. And the reason why I say that is because Rotherham, in my opinion, just don't think Rotherham look as impressive as they've done previous seasons when they've been in League One. They've just been relegated from the Championship and they need to yo-yo their way straight back up. So I don't think they look as impressive as they were in previous seasons. So I think I'll bet Plymouth getting the win here. And usually on opening day, you'll get some sides that have been relegated that will lose on their opening day back in League One. So I think Plymouth Argyle will be one of those games. And I do see, maybe looking at the squad, I think that Jordan Houghton could have a standout performance in the midfield, in my opinion. So I'm going 2-1 Plymouth, and I'm going with a double from Jeff Carr.
I would love that. Look, upsets do happen. They really could happen. Especially, and you never know. We've got 2,000 tickets that we've been given, so you're going to have a good, big, strong following from the Green Army. As fucking Charlie can tell you, the Green Army, we come in force. We don't just sell
out most away games.
we don't come in small numbers. We come in big numbers. We create a heck of a lot of noise, and that can be that obviously really big for the boys as well. So on our travels, normally, if fans were allowed in the stadiums, we're actually not too bad. But, Rotherham, I'm glad it's getting out of the way early. But that's that game. The next game we're covering is Doncaster versus AFC Wimbledon. Now, I do think I've got the right stadium. It does look a bit like a shithole, but we can move past that. Also, I might have accidentally put a load of shit on the screen, but, accidentally, of course. Aaron, you've got AFC Wimbledon. Now, AFC Wimbledon last season didn't have the greatest of seasons, only just survived relegation. Are you confident you're going to get a good result here?
Yeah, like I said, our front line's been derailed by injuries, with Hawula out for 2 or 3 months, with Fajiri out for 2 or 3 months, with John Taylor out till the Carabao Cup match with Walsall later on in August. It's, our front line's looking a bit derailed. Yes, we might have to play one of the strikers on the wings, either Bogle or Chukur. But I am still confident that we will get the win. I don't think Wimbledon look great. I think they've brought in some great signings. Luke McCormick could destroy us. You never know, because he did that.
Oh, mate, I can't wait for the scenes. I can't wait.
The second time we played Bristol Rovers, McCormick skinned us like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Two goals, two worldies.
And James Coppinger couldn't save us. So I think McCormick could destroy us if we're not careful. But hopefully our defence is more on the head, on the mind than last season. Because last season our defence was second half of the season, our defence was shambolic. So we need to think about it defensively, because there is still players in that squad that can threaten us. So we can't put all our apples on there. But we're playing a new style, it's not new, but it's not Darren Moore's play out from the back, counter-attack football. This is, exciting.
Hold on, you can't have play out the back and counter-attack, and that don't work.
No, you play out from the back, and then
you can't say nothing about Darren Moore. Like, I know you're salty, but he was 4th in the league when he left you. And look where you ended up.
That's after 4 out of 5 defeats. Throughout the last 5 defeats as well. I think he was just taking a look at us and thinking, "No, I'm leaving." But no, I do prefer the football we're playing now compared to the football we were playing last season. I think the transfer business we've done compared to we can get banned all we want. We can get banned all we want, but the bottom line is the transfer business we've made is better than last season, guaranteed. Because we've not gone for kids on loan. We've gone for permanent players for 2-3 year deals, building a spine. So, we brought in Ben Close, who can do a better job under us than Kenny Jackett did at Portsmouth. We brought in Carl Moore, who's an amazing right back. We brought Tommy Rowe back. No one expected that to happen. We brought in a wonder kid from Watford. We brought in Arsenal's assist king in the midfield on loan as well. We brought in better business than last season. I am still confident we'll get the win on this one. I haven't really made my predictions yet for scoreline, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I think I'm going to be comfortable here and say 2-0. It won't be a complete goals fest, but I think it will be a comfortable win on the pitch, just not in the goal sheet.
I hear that. Chris says when Plymouth were in League Two faced us at our ground, had the same amount of fans as us, or even more brilliant fan base. That was in Plymouth last season in League 2. You beat us 3-0. We did, and Jepcott got a brace. He had just come back from Truro at that point. We knew we had something good there. Liam says Donny equals Tin Pot Stadium. Love it. Liam chucking just normal banter. Mustafa says small clubs. Yep, you're smallest club in Manchester.
A small club.
You're the smallest club in Manchester. I agree. Right. Kenny says 2-1 Doncaster, last minute penalty win.
Thank you.
Nice.
I'll take it.
I also think 2-1. I think you are not keeping a clean sheet, my boy. You conceded 2 to Harrogate, 4 to Sheffield United. Hey, you said Wellensborough was doing brilliantly against Fossington, and that was pre-season as well. So I do think you will concede a goal. I do think you'll win it, because I don't rate Wimbledon as much. I do think they're going to be in for another rocky ride this season. But I do think McCormick is also probably going to skin you alive as well. So, there's always that bonus. But Charlie, Doncaster, Wimbledon, not a bad game for both of them. I think both will probably walk into this thinking they can get a result.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I don't see, they have made some good signings, Donny, the likes of Close and Noyle. I think they're quality signings. I just don't see, and especially with the injuries in the front line, the likes of Taylor, Taylor will be quality when he comes back, but he'll be a big miss. But I don't see them. I see them struggling to win this game. Only the fact that I don't see a lot of goals in Donny's team. I think it'll be the same score as their first game last season, which was a 1-1 draw against Gillingham. So I'm going for 1-1. I'm going to go for. It has to be a Luke McCormick goal for Wimbledon, and I think Bogle will score for Donny.
That's clever thinking, because Bogle has improved from last season already, and he looks better in positioning and getting into positions for goals. So he could get a threat. By the way, before we move on, we have some breaking League One transfer news that's just come to us right now. Connor Oglevy from Gillingham has signed for Portsmouth on a 2-year deal with the option of a further 12 months. The 25-year-old defender has joined Portsmouth from Gillingham. So Connor Oglevy is now a Pompey player. Breaking news.
Nice.
That's a quality signing.
Don't care too much about Pompey, to be brutally honest with you. But on to Ipswich Town, another team, and you're probably thinking, oh God, Ipswich Town, why are you covering them? They're not going to do anything this season. Well, you're wrong. This lot are definitely within a shout of getting promoted, and they face newly promoted Morecambe. Now, Morecambe obviously lost Eric Adams in the summer. I don't think they're ready for League One, if I'm being brutally honest with you. I do think they're about to come flying back down, back to where they came from. I suppose they're there to sort of enjoy the experience, really. But they've got a tougher ass than Argyle, because at least we've got a squad that's capable. At least we've got a squad capable of League One. Morecambe do not, and Morecambe have to go and face fucking Ipswich Town at Portman Road. I see nothing but an absolute thrashing here. I see possibly a 4-0 win for Ipswich. I really don't see Morecambe causing them any problems at all. Now, I could be wrong, and we always have seen a few shocks. I don't expect this to be one of them. But no, I do see Morecambe getting absolutely mauled to death here. But Charlie, Morecambe, having to face Ipswich, I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't envy them in the slightest.
No, definitely not. I mean, it would be an Ipswich thing over the last few years for them to go and bottle it, but nah, surely not. I think everyone would say it would be an Ipswich win. I think Morecambe, they've made some okay signings, but teams just not. They've lost an amazing manager. I know, obviously, you hate him, but he's amazing
in League Two. Absolutely,
yeah, amazing in League One. But yeah,
shocking League One manager.
Yeah, like obviously Morecambe have lost him. They've lost some really good stand-up players from last season. I I think they're going to be one of the worst teams we've seen in League One for quite a while. No offense to Morecambe, obviously they've done amazing to get out of League Two on the budget they're on, and
they've never been
like
relegated as well. They've never been
relegated.
I
mean, with the signings of it, I mean, they brought in Connor Chaplin, right? Pigott, Fraser, Harper. The list goes on. They brought in a Rangers centre back who's very good, George Edmondson. I can see Morecambe not getting a goal when Ipswich to get 3. I think Pigott double and Fraser goal on his debut.
It's just going to be absolutely terrible for them. They are going to get mauled to death in their first League One fixture. But Aaron, Ipswich, Morecambe. I mean, do you hold any? You're normally Mr. Positivity. You normally love a little bit of a romance. Do you hold any sort of hope for Morecambe in this game?
I feel really sorry for Morecambe. Morecambe,
really, you're really fucked. If Aaron can't even back you, you truly are fucked.
Now, hang on. I haven't made my prediction yet. Charlie, what score did you predict?
3-0.
3-0. Bloody hell! I'm not surprised.
Try to be realistic. Try to be realistic, Aaron.
Right.
He's going to be like, 1-0 Morecambe.
How did you read my mind?
Not a fucking chance of Morecambe keeping that Ipswich attack out.
Charlie, you read my mind. You just did exactly what I was thinking.
Ipswich at home, and you think that Morecambe are going to keep that attack out of their goal. Good luck.
Charlie just said 1-0 Morecambe. It's like he read my mind and think what I was thinking. Look, Morecambe, they've lost the players, most of the squad that gave them promotion in the first place. The top star, Mendes Gomez. I've seen highlights. I've seen highlights in pre-season with Luton. He looks so class for Luton as he did with Morecambe. So class. Yeah. Songo's gone to play with Derek Adams. The positives I can take with Morecambe is they've never been relegated, so there's that to try and hold on to try and salvage some kind of pride. And they've got a manager. Hang on. They brought in Stephen Robinson, who was in the running for our job, and he's been a manager in the Europa League before, so he's got experience in the Europa League to bring to Morecambe. It doesn't matter. Ipswich. You could put
you could just put Pep Guardiola in charge of this Morecambe side. He's doing fuck all with them. You could put Jurgen Klopp. As one of the best. You could put Jurgen Klopp as one of the best coaches in the world. Still doing fuck all.
No chance. Yeah. Also, as well, that they've signed Rovers. One of Rovers' strikers, who had probably the best single game I've ever seen from any striker, Jonah Ayunga, when he scored 2 against Portsmouth last season, 3-0 win. But that was his only 2 goals the whole season. So good luck, Morecambe. That's all I can say.
Look, like in terms of the players they have brought in, they've brought in a range of players. They brought in McLaughlin, who's experienced at League One. They brought Jokul Andersson, who's an Icelandic player from Reading on a season-long loan. I think he's got something to prove. Alfie McCalmon, he's a midfielder that we wanted. That many
he done class at Oldham. To be fair, he was one of the good signings. But it's just weird though. Their transfers look like they've stuck names in a hat and just gone and just picked it. It looks so random. There's loads of loans, loads of.
They got Jonathan Abika. They brought Jonathan Abika back to the Football League.
Yeah, ex-Swindon and Oxford.
Yeah, it's a weird one for me. You know what? No. You know what? I'm going to be the one that's on Morecambe's side. I'm going to go 1-0 Morecambe. I'm going to predict
you actually said it as well. I love that.
This is one of the upsets of the opening day. I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to be on Morecambe's side.
Now, the only reason I'm do you want to know the best bit is when we do the reviews, when we do the reviews next Monday, I'll be putting down what everyone has said. We're going to have like a proper presentation for each game. If they lose this, you are so fucked. It's unreal.
Oh, I know that, but the reason why I'm on Morecambe's side is because no one else is. So I'm trying to be.
It's not about being on their side. It's about what you think is going to go down in an experience of football.
I feel like Morecambe will drum up the spirit, and I think they could compete. Not compete with Ipswich. I think Ipswich will bombard.
If
I think
it was at
Morecambe
Morecambe,
with attacks, but I think that Morecambe will.
if it
try
was
and
at
defend that
Morecambe
as
Stadium,
possible.
if it was at Morecambe Stadium, I may just agree with you here. May just about.
May.
I probably wouldn't say that they would win, but just about agree with it. They're at Portman Road. They've got to go to Ipswich.
I wouldn't be surprised though. Like I said though, I wouldn't be surprised because it's an Ipswich thing. They love to bottle it. It's also the fact that every man and his dog, and everyone betting this week are going to be like, yeah, Ipswich. It wouldn't surprise me if they let everyone down and let Ipswich fans down with the team they got, and the first game they just lose or draw to like Morecambe. It'd be like, what the hell?
It's like I think with Morecambe, if they can just shithouse their way to a 1-0 win, that will just, if they can defend every attack that Ipswich throw at them and just get a nice set piece in, or someone goes on a nice run with a good build-up team goal and just scrape a 1-0, that will just make my day, because it will show Morecambe are here to stay rather than here for the glory for 46 games. And to be my opinion, we shouldn't really disrespect Morecambe that much, because I've got them to finish outside the relegation zone, only just. So I think Morecambe could do stuff this season. It's just about surprising people when they least expect it. So I think this will be one of the upsets of the match week, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 Morecambe.
Just one last thing. All Morecambe need to do is an SRS, a Stephen Robinson shithouse. That's it.
So, Charlie, what did you say for
3-0? 3-0 Ipswich.
No, Doncaster Wimbledon. What was your one?
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Cool.
Luke McCormick, worldy.
I put Aaron down as. I put Aaron down as.
Mate, Luke McCormick is that good. He even, fair enough to him, he even voted for me on Instagram for the Football Content Awards. I fucking love it.
Love it. Aaron went for. I had it down as 2-2 and I changed it to 2-0. I forgot. I didn't. That was genuinely a genuine mistake, because you said 2-2. Actually, no, he said that we would beat Rotherham somehow. He does have a good football romance, this kid. But our next one is at the Valley. So Chilton Athletic versus Sheffield Wednesday. Do you have to act like a yob? Can you just be polite? Aaron Moore is bigger than your club. Now, on to the Valley.
If you want me to be polite, I'll be polite. Darren Moore, please accept that you're a fucking prick.
He's at a bigger club, right? Calm down.
A bigger club in the same league as us.
At the Valley, a big first game back. Obviously, it's not the same type of Sheffield Wednesday side, because to be brutally honest with them, they have got more financial difficulties than Torquay United. And Torquay United are in the National League. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday have signed many players either. In fact, are they even allowed to sign any?
They brought in.
No, they signed a few good players, but their squad is still quite small.
Yeah, they brought in a couple recently. Like, we knew about Dennis Adarina, we knew about Jaden Brown. They brought back Jack Hunt from Bristol, but they've loaned in 3 players. They brought in Bailey Peacock-Fowl from Burnley, the goalkeeper, Lewis Wing from Middlesbrough, and Florian Camberry, who's an Albanian defender, I believe, from Switzerland club FC St. Gallen.
Didn't he used to play for like Celtic or Rangers? One of them.
I think so, yeah. And they've also let go of Odebajo for free to QPR, and Tom Lees has gone to Huddersfield for free as well. So 2 out, 3 in.
They brought in a fair few decent players.
Since we did the transfer updates, they brought in 3 loans, and they've let go of a couple on free.
So they've done a bit of good business. I mean, look, I think they're still going to struggle. I don't think that Kenny's just said 6-0. I don't think we're about to see that sort of scoreline. But I do think it's going to be. I do think it's going to be tough for Sheffield Wednesday. Charlton, for me, a really good team. Nigel Atkins does look like he's probably going to have them in, you'd think, in the top 6, or if not top 10 minimum. So Charlton definitely one of the bookies' favourites to have a good one.
They brought in some good players as well.
Yeah. So it is going to be a really good one. But I'm going to go with a 3-0 win to Charlton. I do think that they're potentially. I think they're a bit more. I think they know each other a bit more. I think they're more of a group. I think Sheffield Wednesday is going to take a bit of time for them to gel. We have seen that multiple times. I do think Charlton will. I think they're going to be a step too far. But look, I could be completely way off the mark here. And Sheffield Wednesday could absolutely do a madness and nick something. And look, Argyle did nick something twice from the Valley. So there's a possibility that Sheffield Wednesday could do.
We won last season, so we've done stuff.
Yeah, so look, you can pick up at the Valley, and we'll see how they do this season. But in this game,
we lost 1-0 at the Valley. We beat them 3-1 at our ground.
But it's going to be fucking hell. Make up your mind. Yeah, it's going to be a really tough one. Liam says, "No, I found this Euro 2020 quiz on Google. Would you do it with me?" Not tonight. I've got this show, and then I need to cook dinner and prep transfer talk. I might be free tomorrow, but that might be a bit of a push. But no, I can't do it tonight. I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Charlton, one of our favourites for promotion. Yeah. Aaron, at the Valley, you lost on pens a few years ago. Remember? Oh yeah,
I remember. Arsenal final, and we didn't have the right squad then, so we were better off.
Didn't have the right squad, mate. Your squad was madness. Your squad was madness. You just bottled it. Simple.
We have
Vitamin,
Marcus Rowe, and that's about it.
Mate, you had a quality squad.
Not a problem, Liam. And before you two start arguing about the playoffs, we'll be here for fucking years. Aaron, you're obviously direct rivals with Wednesday, so talk me through this game. What do you expect to see?
Darren Moore to cry and break down and have a mental breakdown. I think Charlton Athletic will demolish them on the pitch. Maybe not in terms of the scoreline, but I think they'll definitely demolish them in terms of the pitch. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday look collectively together. I think Darren Moore's doing what he did with us last season, loaning a few kids, loaning some players rather than a permanent spine. Just make do with what you've got. Doesn't help with the ownership, to be honest. So
they don't have the money for permanent.
I feel sorry for Darren Moore in that respect because I'm sure he wants to do a lot more than he's doing right now. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday do not have the best squad right now. I think Charlton just look better prepared. They look better organised. They've got a better squad, in my opinion. And I think Sangard wants success for that club. So I'm going to say the same as now. I'm going to go for 3-0 Charlton. But I think it'll look like 7-0 on the pitch, but it'll be 3-0 on the scoreline.
Interesting shout. Hiding behind my squad so you're not in the mud. I see how he's doing it now. But Charlie, Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, if people are new to football and they're been away for about 10 years, they're probably thinking Championship clash here. Not quite. League One. How do you expect it to go?
Well, for me personally, I've gone with completely different to what you two. I've gone with a lot of goals, but I think they're going to share the spoils. I mean, Charlton are pretty good. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but they've still got a lot of. I think Anike will be a big miss, but they've signed Stockley on a permanent, which is a big plus. Got a good manager. They sort of bottled it last season. They had a lot of. Their home record last year was awful, by the way. I don't know how we managed to bottle it. We were 2-0 up. We should have won about 4-0 and we lost. But I still think defensively they're still going to be a bit shaky. I know fans are back, so that'll make a big difference. But I still think with Sheffield Wednesday, they've still got Andre Green, who, funny enough, used to play for Charlton, was on loan there a few years ago. They still got good players. I know it's a bit of a nightmare with the squad, but they still got Shadipo. Wing is a quality signing on loan. So yeah, 2-2 for me. I can see a lot of goals, but no win.
I hear that. I do hear that. So our last game of League One before we take a look at League Two is from Cambridge. Now, this is apparently a League One stadium. Well, it certainly is next season. This is Cambridge United Stadium, and they will be hosting Oxford for their first game in League One. This has got the signs of a really interesting game. Now, Cambridge striker. Was it that guy who's ended up at Wrexham somehow?
Paul Mullin, yeah. Over 30, Mullin. Over like 32 goals, I think.
keep forgetting their names. Although just quickly, a Mad Life of Kieran says 2-1 Charlton. So he's expecting Charlton to get a win there, but not overly close. Well, he thinks it's going to be close. 2-0 there. Kenny saying Oxford nick it late on. Everyone thinking this could be a tighter game. Now, I don't think it's going to be that tight. My money is on Oxford. I think obviously Cambridge, they've lost their goalkeeper to us. So he's now our backup. Now, he had a fairly good season for Cambridge. They lost their top striker. Straight away, you've lost your goalkeeper and your striker. Couldn't ask for worse to start. Now, look, they could easily do something. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash. I do think Cambridge are going to give Oxford a real good game. Fans are back in the stadium as well, so we do need to start bearing this in mind. We're not going to see as many away wins as we saw last season. That is absolutely guaranteed. In all leagues saw the most away wins than we've ever seen. Don't expect that this season. Don't forget, fans have been away for quite some time, so fans are going to be really important. But I do see Oxford just about getting this. I think it will be a 2-1 win to Oxford. I think they have got the quality there. I do think Cambridge is going to be lacking a little bit, obviously, in terms of goal scorers and, losing the keeper. As much as he is now our backup, you've lost your keeper. New one coming in, takes time to bed in. But as I say, I do think 2-1 for Oxford. I think they'll just about squeeze it through. But I do expect to see some goals. Charlie, what's your thoughts? Cambridge, Oxford?
Well, I've seen a lot of Cambridge fans really worried about during pre-season. They've lost, like you said, 32 goals. The only big plus I think for them is they've still got the other striker, Joe Ironside, I think his name is. He got 15 goals last year. He's still good, but I think they're going to really struggle. I don't rate the signings who they brought in. I think Noyle, who obviously Donny signed, is a big miss, and so is Marlin. So, and to be fair, I know we beat Oxford on the weekend, but we did get lucky. They were good going forward. You could see they play good football. I think it'd be a comfortable 2-0 win to Oxford.
2-0 win to Oxford. That is what Charlie's saying. Aaron, what hope do you have for Cambridge?
They still have a couple of good quality players. They've still got Wes Houlihan to bring some experience to that. And to be fair, he ripped it up in League Two last season. So I think he could still have a good season, a decent season at least. I think Oxford have the better squad here. They've got the better team. I think this is going to be a not too comfortable, but just the right level of comfortable. So I'm going to go 2-0 Oxford.
2-0 Oxford. So you and Charlie both agreeing that Oxford will win 2-0.
I'm going to be honest.
I've spiced up the apple cart.
He's copied it, hasn't he?
Apparently, I am the most optimistic for Cambridge, as I have got them down to score at least one goal. But look, we'll see how that goes, and we'll be back here next Monday, looking at how we all did with our predictions.
What score did you do, Paul?
I went for 2-1. I went for Cambridge 1, Oxford 2. I do think that home support will suck the ball in at least once. I don't think they'll do it often, but I do think maybe that having fans back first time it's going to be a huge thing for them. Noyle, big miss for Cambridge 2, was best right back in League 2 last season. Mullin is also a massive miss. Chris says Cambridge has got key players like Houlihan and Ironside, but not enough to step up, in my opinion. We've seen more away fans due to no fans in stadiums, in my opinion. You expect now? I think we'll see a lot more home fans than we'll see away fans. I think we'll see a large amount of away fans. Kenny saying Mondays. I don't know why he's just randomly. He's just randomly put the word Monday in. He's like Mondays.
Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
He's had an absolute mare there. But yes, Kenny, we will be doing all our reviews on the Monday because the games happen on the weekend, and then obviously Thursday or Friday, whichever day it is. And yeah, sound Charlie. And then but on terms of Sky Bet League 2, we're starting off with Mansfield versus Bristol Rovers. Big game for back for Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers. They're taking on Mansfield. Charlie, first game back in League 2, obviously, arguably not the place you want to be, but what hope do you have for this?
I think it's going to be tough. It's weird though. I've seen with predictions for Mansfield, because they haven't been the best over the last few years. Some people have put them really low down. Personally, for me, with the squad they've got and the signings they've made, I think they'll be up there. I think they'll be in the playoffs. They brought in a 20-goal a season striker in Johnson from Leyton Orient. They brought in another player that got over 20 goals in the conference for Hartlepool in Reece Oates. And for me, I think it'd be tough. I'm being optimistic, I want to say a win, but the only thing that worries me is the fact that I've seen Cambridge's pre-season, and I know a lot of their players who they signed in their first team have been playing and are fit, which worries me because a lot of our players, like I said in when we were talking about our clubs earlier on, still haven't played a lot or still injured. So I'm going to say, being optimistic, and because I'm going to the game as well, should have 1,700 Rovers fans as well. I'm going to say 2-1 Rovers, but it's going to be tough.
I hear that. It is going to be a tough one. I haven't got you down to win. I've got it down as a 1-1 draw. I do agree. I think Mansfield have got a really good team behind them. I think they are going to have a better season than they did last season. I also think that, Bristol Rovers, they've had a bit of difficulties. They brought in a lot of players. That's going to need to gel. And also, half of them haven't played a game for you yet. So they're fitness-wise, I'm not sure how they're going to be. So I have got it down as a 1-1 draw here. But we'll see with that one. It's going to be a tough one, but you have brought in some real quality in your team. So maybe that first game back, they'll really want it more than anything. Chris says, I said away wins now. Yes, you did. My mistake. Prime says Salford to win it all. I don't think so. But that's my view. I think Bristol Rovers are definitely in for a good shout. But I think Mansfield, tough opposition, tough first game back. Aaron, what about you? Mansfield, Bristol Rovers?
I think Mansfield's got a decent team. Bristol Rovers have definitely got a better team than last season. Should be a tight one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. So he truly is now hiding behind our scores. But yeah, that is what we've got there. Now, Charlie, you have to run, don't you?
Yeah. I've got football. But yeah, I will.
Bristol Rovers
on one Rovers vlogs on YouTube, only 9 away from 2.7k. Twitter, one Rovers vlogs as well. But I will catch up on the rest of it when I get back, and obviously I'll be on next week as well. So yeah, I can't wait to see what other scores you've predicted. But yeah,
I'm guessing you're going
in the comments as well.
I'm guessing you're going to message us your predictions for the other leagues.
Yeah.
No, I've already done it. I know I haven't, but I will. Yeah, I'll message you.
Put us a DM because I've picked the games that you said anyway, so I think I have anyway. Yeah, I hope I have. But yeah, send us your DM for your results, and me and Aaron will finish this one up for us. We've got 4 more League 2 games. Catch you in a bit, Charlie. We've got 4 more League 2 games. So our League 2 reporter is now off, which is going to be really good for us. This was all down to this was all for him. This was all meant to be for him. But that is Mansfield.
He's gone to the new trials to be Bristol Rovers next signing.
Yes, indeed he has. So next up on our list, we're back to Devon, and this time we are in the red side of Devon, Exeter City. Now they're taking on, and this game has got extra spice for me, as it's obviously local rivals Exeter City versus Bradford City, who have currently got our former manager Derek fucking Adams. So this game couldn't be more annoying if it tried. So in terms of Exeter, Bradford, now both of these, well, they're biggish clubs in their respective league. Now, the thing with Exeter, they've lost a shit ton of players. My lord, they're more fucked than Torquay United. And Torquay United are in the National League.
Another one of their players is set to leave now because people are set to sign Joel Randall.
They're all leaving because they don't want to be there anymore.
According to Pete O'Rourke, which is really true.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Chris says I'll be the League Two reporter in the comments. We love to see that. We love to see that. But in terms of St James's Park and in terms of Exeter versus Bradford, how do I see this game going? Well, absolutely appalling for Exeter. I think they're going to get smashed. And as much as I hate Derek Adams, and I do with a passion, free passion as well. It's completely free to hate this prick. I hate him more than you can imagine. Exeter have lost a lot of key players. They've lost, obviously, Randall apparently now. Now, they lost, who was their goal scorer last year? Shit, really good player.
Ryan Bowman.
That's the one. They've lost Bowman. They've lost a shit ton of good players out of their squad.
Randall Williams to Hull.
Yeah, Randall Williams as well. This is going to be brutal for Exeter. Now, I've got Bradford to win 4-0. Fucking do it for me, Derek. Do it for me. Absolutely smash these wankers 4-0. It'll make me happy. And I may just start liking you a bit more if you do. This is going to be a really good game. I'm really excited to see Bradford hopefully smack Exeter around like they are nothing. To which they are nothing. Chris says Matchday only key player left for Exeter. Also big up to Jay. Kenny saying 6-2 Bradford. I mean, that's asking a lot. Matt J leaves Exeter. They are doomed. He's just been given the captaincy at St James's Park. Jay says, I remember when they played Chelsea off the park and scored 4 goals. They did. It's not the same Bradford side. And under Derek Adams, certainly wouldn't expect them to be playing anyone off the park. That's for fucking sure. That's not Derek Adams' style for one. But I've gone 4-0. Aaron, Exeter Bradford. What have you gone for?
What an opening day fixture. The shittest manager in Plymouth's history versus the shittest team closest to Plymouth Argyle. I mean, you couldn't bloody write it, can you? I mean, Exeter look appalling in terms of their playing squad. They've lost their top talent, Championship and League One clubs. They're losing their top players. They look like a shell of their former self. Exeter have only been in the Football League 13 years because they were back in from the conference in 2008. So I've got a feeling it won't be too long until they're back down there, to be honest. For Bradford, they've got a League Two masterpiece, but a League One flop in Derek Adams. But they've got a decent squad full of players that know what it takes to get promoted. Songo, of course, promoted with Morecambe last season.
I think he brought in brought him back in.
But you know what? I've got this weird feeling that Derek Adams is going to blow it.
That's enough of that. If he's about to back Exeter City, we are about to have a major fallout live on stream.
No. I'm not backing Exeter. I'm going for a 0-0 draw.
I could just about get with that.
I think Bradford could bottle it, but Exeter don't have the quality. I think it'll just be very
the way you were talking, you were about to back Exeter, and that's not going to go well for any of us.
I would rather stick cocktail sticks in my eyes and go jump off a Sheffield Wednesday's Humber Bridge.
Of course, Exeter will win some games this season, and I will have to back that. But, you know, we'll see. Big up to Keith in the chat as well. Does Doncaster versus Bradford count as a derby?
No.
1-1 draw, says Chris. But that is from St James's Park. Should be an interesting game.
The fake
you hope. It is the fake one. It also looks shitter than the other one.
Just rename it to the Adam Stansfield Stadium. What's wrong with honouring his memory with a full stadium rather than just one stand?
I think that they've got a stand named after him. Might be the big one, you know. It might be.
Yeah, I think it is the newer looking one with the Adam Stanfield stand. I mean, just rename the stadium. Just don't get in trouble.
Well, I've always had it St James's Park, but moving on because I don't want to see that anymore. On to Carlisle United now, Chris. I would banter your club about the state of their stadium, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be a bigger man than that. But my lord. Moving swiftly on about the state
They had
of the
like
state.
a new stadium in the works. I think a few years ago they had plans for a new stadium, but I'm not too sure it's gone. I think it was like codenamed the Blue Yonder Project.
I think I've also got the shitter part of the stadium on view. I will try to find a better picture for you, Chris. I honestly will. But Carlisle, moving away from the stadium, because stadium doesn't really matter too much, does it? So, for Carlisle versus Colchester. Now, Colchester, they have done a bit of that stadium isn't updated. Is it not? Is that not your updated one? That might not be the updated one.
Oh, they scrapped the plans for a new stadium a few years back.
That's from the 90s. Well, we've gone for old school Carlisle. I'll find a better picture for you next time. So Carlisle versus Carlisle Colchester. I will try and find a better picture. This one didn't pixelate, you see. But Carlisle versus Colchester. Now Colchester, they're not a great team. I think they're going to be mid-table quite easily this season. Whereas Carlisle, I do see Carlisle having a really positive season. I think it'll be more positive than that season. I've got this one down as a 1-0 Carlisle win. I don't see many goals in this game. But as I say, Carlisle being at home, I think that's going to give them a real advantage. As I think we predicted. Yeah, we predicted. Well, I've only predicted. I've not predicted no one to win from the wayside. Actually, I did. I predicted Oxford. But for this game, Carlisle Colchester, I'm going to go down with the 1-0 win for Carlisle. I don't see Colchester being that good. I do see them being an improvement. They have got their former player back from us, Frank Noble, who was permanently with us, went back on loan to Colchester. He didn't fit how we played. Shock horror. Not the good. Our recruitment last year wasn't great, but he's back at Colchester, so maybe he'll bag a couple. He's a real handful to deal with as well. But Aaron, Carlisle Colchester, what do you see it being?
I'm going 1-1. I think Colchester could pull something out of the bag with this one. I don't think Carlisle look fantastic. I think that they've sold a couple of their good players. They've brought in a few, but not a lot that really stands out to me, in my opinion. So I think that Carlisle will draw 1-1 with this one. I think Colchester might shithouse the result, like Exeter shithouse the season in the 89th minute or the 90th minute. I think it'll be 1-1.
No, I hear that. I do hear that. It should be an interesting game. I think
I'm not hiding behind your scoreline this time.
This is true. You haven't hid behind my scoreline. 3 points clean sheet. I'll take it.
I can just see the banter.
We're just bantering each other all the time. Chris, and I understand why I'm going to go for 1-1 Colchester, hard team to predict this season.
That's that. We're going to have a lot of banter this season, but that is why we are the perfect commentary team for Clash of Creators 2. Everyone, get in the DMs of the people behind Clash of Creators.
Absolutely. And if you want to see me do double duty and try and get this fat body running around that pitch, we'll also play for you. But yeah, that would be quality. What more do you want from a duo like us? Half the time I'll be just telling Aaron that his team is shit. But moving on.
I'm a fan that hates Exeter and a Donny fan that hates Sheffield Wednesday. We could just banter our rivals for the next 90 minutes.
We could, or I could just banter Doncaster because I find that more enjoyable.
And I'll commentate on the game and you banter Doncaster.
I can commentate as well. I can do both. Kenny's saying, vote Let's Talk EPL for best podcast lads in the Football Awards.
And vote for our individual channels as well in the Football Content Award.
I didn't even know we were in there, so love to see it.
A few people have nominated me for best new content creator.
I think I've been told that we've been nominated a few times. I didn't even realise we were in there. But Salford, Leyton Orient are what we're going for now. Big up to Aidan in the chat as well. Now, Salford are a good team. We mustn't look. We can banter them all we like, and trust me, it's fun. But they are a big club in terms of money and in terms of finances. Now, that also means that is reflected on the pitch. Salford are a biggish club. Now, they have bottled it a fair few times, but they do seem to be on the upward trajectory. Now, I have gone for where's your mask, Donny? Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But Salford, I think Salford will win this. Leyton Orient, I think, are going to be mid-table. Salford, for me, should expect to be automatically promoted, but we shall see. We shall see with that. So I've gone for a Salford 2-0 win here. I do think they have the ability to go on and win this, but we'll have to wait and see, because obviously a game don't happen until Saturday. But, you know, Neville does strive for perfection wherever he is, whether that be at United or at the Peninsula Stadium with Salford. So he does expect perfection. They have got the money. They have got the backing. So that is why I've gone for them to win 2-0. I think it should be quite comfortable for them. And they should be one of the teams to go up automatically. Now, that bit we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But that's my prediction. What about you, Aaron?
I think I can talk with that one. I think that it's a hard one for me, because I think Orient could be the underdogs.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
I think that Leyton Orient could be the underdogs in League Two, and I think that Salford could be somewhat decent. It depends what they do, to be fair. So I personally believe it will be I'm going to go with a 2-1 to Leyton Orient. I think Leyton Orient could just scrape it. Chris says Salford should be expected to get automatic promotion since they've been in League Two. Salford raided Oldham by signing their best player, Conor McLeaney. Yeah, that's the factor that you sort of take from that. He's predicting 1-0 Salford. Golfer Twins says, hello, Niall and Aaron, Rovers all the way. Hey! I'm wearing the Rovers mask. Chris said I've gone for Leyton Orient to win playoffs, my dark horse for League Two. I think Leyton Orient are the dark horse for League Two. I think they, personally for me, they are the dark horse in League Two. And yeah, so I'm going to go 2-1 Orient. What are you guys predicting? Comment down below while Niall's away. But if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. So far. I predicted 2-1 Leyton Orient now.
Yep, I've just got that down. 2-1.
I've just read off a few comments as well.
Perfect. Sorry, Mother Nature did call. So I desperately needed to do that. But yeah, Salford, Leyton Orient should be a really good game. Should be interesting. We'll see how our predictions fare there. Now, for the last game of League Two, because we want to give equal coverage to the leagues this season. We didn't last season. We do this year. Now, Tranmere Rovers, really annoyed. They've changed their badge as well. Really fucking annoying, because that looks...
It looks like something from 2006.
It looks shite, is what you're trying to say. But you're trying to say it in a nice way. So, Tranmere Walsall. I would be lying if I knew a lot about this game. I think Tranmere are a good side in League Two. Walsall sort of came mid-table last year, so I do expect Tranmere to win. Now, Walsall haven't overly impressed me in the transfer window. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. What I don't get is why their badge is red, but their stadium is blue. Make this make sense. I'm confused. I really am. That badge is really doing my head in now. But Mad Life of Kieran is saying a 1-1 draw between, I think he's on about these two, which would be an interesting one. Kenny's saying Tranmere to lose 3-1, which is a bit of a madness. Chris saying, no, it'll be Tranmere Walsall next. I didn't pick this game. This was Charlie. My pick was, what did I have? Because I had made this and then Charlie decided to send his things through. Because I didn't know if he was doing it or not. So what game did I pick? Scunthorpe. I had Scunthorpe's game. I had them in. Believe it or not, me and Charlie also picked the same four, but he went for this one, Scunthorpe. But because it's his league, he was allowed to do this and change it. I had Scunthorpe. Who are they playing? Scunthorpe versus... the fuck is Scunthorpe playing?
They are playing, officially, they're opening up the season with relegated Swindon at home.
That's the one, Swindon. I knew I had them in there for a reason.
New owners.
New owners, yeah, new owners, knew everything, really. But
New
Tranmere
manager.
new manager as well. Tranmere Walsall, though, is one we're covering. And I have gone for a Tranmere win. Now, I'm going to say they're going to win 2-0. Same as Salford versus Orient. I'm saying 2-0. I do think Tranmere should win. They were unlucky not to go up last season, I do feel. Will this year be their year? Now, there are some tough teams in League Two, and we haven't even touched any of them. Oh, actually, we've got Bristol Rovers in there. But you have got teams like Northampton. I can't remember the other ones that went down. So, look, it's going to be a tough one. But I do expect Tranmere to win 2-0. They had, as I say, they had a good season last year. Can they replicate that again this year? You would assume so, because the quality of League Two now it's just getting worse and worse. It is a bit brutal in League Two. That's how shit it really is. But Aaron, what have you got for Tranmere Walsall? Obviously, our last feature match of the day.
Like you said, I don't. Obviously, not a lot of knowledge on this game, to be honest. I think Tranmere probably expects to do well. I would say that Walsall, obviously, they're our Carabao Cup opponents, so I need to get to grips with knowledge about Walsall so we can get ready to beat them in August. I think
We're in August now.
Yeah, I mean, like in about a week or so. I think Tranmere will probably edge this one. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win, but that's just a bold one.
2-1. I hear that. I do hear that. It could be an interesting one. Chris says, I expect Tranmere to win, but tough game, in my opinion. So Aaron has got a 2-1 win. So obviously we'll get Charlie's sort of, as we go on and all of this. But that is it. That is it. We have come to the end of this week's show. We'll be back again next Monday. Now, let me just quickly explain. I do need to message Indiana, and I need to do that straight after this show whilst I remember. The way we want to do it is we want to do this show on the Monday, then towards the end of the week, have another show where we do the previews like we've done today. So next Monday, we'll be reviewing the games that we have gone through today. So we'll probably just pick the same games. That's the way we'll probably do it. These are our feature games. Then obviously we'll also go through the results of the other games as well. So don't worry too much about that. But before we go, do hit that like button. Do hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But most importantly, share the stream. Share this show. Let everyone know where they can find us. If you are a League One fan or a League Two fan, there will be opportunities coming up in the near future for you to call in at the end of the show and give your opinions on what you've thought of your team's performance that weekend. Or we may do it for the previews. You never know. You don't have to do Carlisle's all the time because I'm in the comments. That's precisely the reason why we do Carlisle a lot. But as I say, there is an opportunity for you to call in later on in the season. We're just going to work around all of that. But we're just sort of getting a grip. We've been working on a lot of new things that we want to bring to this show. So watch this space is all I'm going to say. Watch this space.
Maybe the review shows we'll do a call-in section.
That's what I mean. I don't think we'll do it previews. I think reviews will definitely open the lines and let people on for the last 15 minutes to talk about their club and how they performed over the weekend. But as I say, do watch this space because there's a lot of new ideas, fresh ideas like you've seen today that we're going to be experimenting with and trying to make better. We're all about striving to make this show as big and as bad, not as big and bad, perfect as we possibly can. But that is it for today. You can find me on Twitter at @Nile_PAFC, and also you can find me on YouTube at Let's Talk Premier League, where I do Argyle content. So if you are a Plymouth Argyle fan and you want to get involved with the Argyle show Wednesdays at 8 p.m, then do message me and we can arrange that. But also if you are a Big Six fan or Premier League fan, we have multiple things for you as well. We've got the weekly review show, we've got individual club shows, and we got Refs View, all sorts of things that are coming to that channel as well. So do make sure you come over and join us there as well. But Aaron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, Snapchat at Coaster_Chal19, Instagram at Aaron Challoner Official, TikTok at Aaron Challoner, YouTube, Forever Football DRFC, and also Coaster Chal over there as well. And yeah, the season begins now. Let's hope we don't get relegated so I don't have to face the heat.
Yes, obviously, the season is here now. Pre-season is done for most clubs, I think. They should be done for most clubs anyway. But you are absolutely right. The season starts now. Jesus Christ. Kenny's saying, you can find Aaron's channel at Forever Football RUFC. Obviously, a huge Rotherham United fan. But no, you can find him obviously at
Rotherham fan.
You can find him at Forever Football DRFC. But these were our featured games this week. Next week we'll have different games, so we'll be reviewing these games on Monday, and also, going briefly over the games from the matches from the other games that we haven't covered. Don't forget that'll be next. We've done 7 games that we haven't covered. We'll give you those scorelines as well. But do, as I say, watch your space. But until next time, so next Monday, 6 or 6:30, one of the two. We'll see you then. But until then, thank you for watching.
Cheers.
And peace out, guys.